Hello, friends. We're back again. Welcome to Fightful. It's November 20th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time for your TNA Impact post show. Cresta should be joining us shortly. If she's not, then we'll find another time, damn it. But I'm here, and I'm clear, and I'm going to talk about TNA. And you know what? We have plenty to talk about because after last week, where we had a very long show and we talked about everything we could that happened on that live show, we had something to look forward to because tapings were going to happen. Turning Point was also the next night. And you know what? We'll get into it. We'll talk about what was good, what was bad, what was ugly, and what you're going to look forward to for the rest of the year in TNA. I'll tell you right now, if you're expecting bombshell storylines with incredible, incredible title changes, I wouldn't hold my breath. And I'll tell you why. For those who have been in the know, TNA have been working on a new media rights deal for, God, it feels like forever, but it's been, I think it was in the summertime when Carlos Silva was talking about it more openly. And we saw last year at Bound for Glory that they really started amping up the promotion of TNA through Anthem and trying to get more people invested in their product to get them into a TV situation. So you've got that. You've got Genesis. That's the next pay-per-view that they're running, and that's in January. I believe the 18th, though there has been no official announcement of a date. There's been no official announcement of a venue. But if I had to guess, they ran Curtis Caldwell last year. And on top of that, the 18th explains their TV taping schedule for the next little bit because you've got Final Resolution coming up in 3 weeks. That's a live special on the Friday. And then they're doing 2 nights of tapings. 2 of those weeks will be up because of Christmas and New Year's. So you can put together typically on a 1-night event, they're taping 4 weeks of TV. And as a result, you kind of place together how this works out. So my expectation is that you're going to see the TNA world reshape itself in 2026. That doesn't mean it's going to be bad. All that means is the next little bit is going to be full of good wrestling, and I'm not just going to hold my breath and tell you, oh my God, everything's amazing. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to wait for it. So as a result, here we are. The shows are going to be fine. The shows, hopefully, listen, I think the wrestlers are going to be good at the wrestling. The storylines is where we're going to be hoping for the best because last week left very little to be desired. We'll play it by ear, folks. We're still here, and there's still a lot to clean up on. Cresta just got back to me. There was a little bit of a crossed wire, so I guess I should announce it now, because the hope was actually that we'd address it tonight. It's just me, Us, moving forward. So it's going to be just me doing the post shows for TNA for a little bit, and it's not because of anything anyone did. We're restructuring a little bit with Fightful, and Cresta is on Fridays and Saturdays moving forward because she's doing the SmackDown post show review with Kate now every Friday, and then Saturday she's doing the Collision post shows as well. So Cresta is moving to that. You still got me. What this means for 2026, it's still going to be me, and we're still going to talk about TNA wrestling, and we're still going to do everything that we are doing, and that's all good. So our wires got a little crossed tonight, but we're okay. I'm going to miss working with Cresta, and I know it's not the last time that we'll be working together, but we'll be back. I know we will. Hey, while you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't already, we'd appreciate it. These are the free options. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're working our way up, baby. We got plenty of information, plenty of videos, plenty of recaps here on Fightful. So why don't you go ahead and leave that thumbs up, subscribe, tap that bell, get your notifications, because we go live almost every single night, and we're getting into a busy couple of weeks. If it's not a television program, then you're going to have something like, well, here she is again. Hi.
Okay, so I misunderstood. I apologize, everyone. Started not going to business for herself.
No, so here's what happened. So okay, we'll pull the curtain back. Cresta's here. Hi. I just explained to the audience what's going on. We did get our wires crossed, you and I, and Sean. I'm gonna blame Sean for this because I can. I told them that moving forward, Cresta, you're going to be working Fridays and Saturdays. You're on the post show for SmackDown and AEW Collision, and it's just me, Us, on Thursdays. So you're good. You're good.
So like, I don't have to be here because I'm already here. So like, what's up?
You're always welcome to be here. I just don't know if you want to be here. It's up to you.
What up? I'm here. What's up? Let's do it. Let's do it. I
Out?
watched some of Impact. I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry, Joel. But what's up, crowd? I'm gonna terrorize you one more time, guys, and then that's it. No mas.
All right, this is the last one. I'm gonna miss you, pal, but we'll still work together. I know we will.
I'm gonna miss you too, Joel. You're like my wrestling fairy godfather. I got no notes.
All good.
We're raw dogging it. I seen it from the elegance thing on, so let's go, pal.
So, like, once again, you'll see Cresta Fridays and Saturdays on the channel. You've got me now Thursdays every single week. We're going to be talking TNA. It's not going anywhere. 2026 will hopefully be a very better year for TNA. I guess you and Kate kind of touched on it on Friday with the Santana work. We can get to talk about it from a TNA side. I've talked about it quite a lot on In the Weeds, which is the show, once again, that I do in the mornings here on Fightful Overbooked, our sister channel. Go subscribe now. And really, to put a bow on it, they did something stupid and they went about it the wrong way. And I think at the end of the day, if TNA had just run it from their own socials and didn't try to work media, this could have been a much better story, especially with the promo that Santana gave tonight. We'll get into it in a minute because it opened the show. But in general, again, you can't try to work members of the media, especially when that member of the media has a plethora of people backstage that they could just ask and be like, hey, what's up? And get the right answer. So I'll leave that at that.
That was a choice. I don't understand doing this kind of angle now, especially what happened with Seth. I feel like that was a cautionary tale across the board. I think it's one thing to work the fans kayfabe, but once you start trying to do metalworking, it takes a big brain. And I don't think your brain is that big, Megamind.
The Seth thing also didn't come with the caveat that Seth was depressed and Seth was just hitting 1,000 days sober and Seth was losing the title. It was a much, they tried to get too cute by a half, and that came back to bite them in the ass. They didn't play it out on TV. They were trying to play it out behind the scenes as if this was a thing. So was not great. Anyway,
are you not entertained?
Not that night I wasn't, but anyway, I am entertained by super chats though. So you can go ahead and you can donate those and get your question or statement around the air, or you can donate a Humper Chat for the last time on this show. Crest is going to explain that.
Guys, you're going to take your fingers and type humperchats.com. Yes, humperchats.com, where when you put your donation amount in, myself and Joel get to keep just a little bit more of the proceeds, and we'll read your comment online and on air for you. So humperchats.com. This is the last time I'll be yelling at you. So bang, bang.
That's true. Then you got Scarlett over here, member for 4 months, saying faith thing. Santino said Charlie Dumpster. That was funny. That was one of the better ones for that. Santino always tries to do something with these names, and this was one that was actually kind of good. Give him that. Show opens up with Santana, gets into the ring, puts a chair in the middle, just sits his ass down and says, I won the title. I was 1,000 days sober. And he says all the positive things about his experience. He won it for his daughter. Everything was great. He's happy, and then everything got taken away in the blink of an eye. And one thing that's really, really, really worth noting, and I don't know if this was due to edits or if this was live in the arena, people were silent, dead silent listening to this man. You could hear a pin drop. It was either very well edited or people were really bought in. And that is why your top babyface should not get effed over the way they did it last week, regardless of how they thought this would look. Now, he says he brings up the work angle, and effectively he plays it off and says, I went to a meeting, as if he went to an AA meeting that I'll talk about like that. And then he says, he had to get his head straight. He was depressed, blah, 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 blah. Now he wants his title back, and calls out Kazarian. He calls out the NXTC team, and he's going to go after all of them. So I thought the promo was great. I know that Santana is going to win back that title. And again, I think that it was such a silly way to do it last week. But if you're going to pull up, at least you're going to do it in a way that this made sense. And I think it was passionate. It was passionate enough to get me invested in the story again to move forward. Your thoughts?
Santana is an amazing performer. And I think that he has the charisma to move a crowd. But we already knew that. My problem with this is, I've been down this road before with you, TNA. You literally just did this with Joe Hendry. Yeah, is he going to win it back? Sure. But what was the point of that? You know, what was the point of you dragging it out for him to finally win it, just to be like, psych. It sucks because Kazarian, fantastic wrestler, and it sucks that he never won it. And now the time that he has, this happens. People have their opinions about it now. So on the one hand, great. But on the other hand, TNA, I won't get my hopes up again. You won't get me, pal. Not me.
That's the problem, is that you're aware of how they treat these stories. You're aware of what happens. There is a feeling that they could be saving it. And this is the worst thing. I hate this. Saving it for this, saving it for that. If they're trying to save this for, let's say, the first episode on TV, if that's what they're trying to do, like with the new TV deal, then why bother? Why would you do it? Like, and also, why would you do Bound for Glory? And then like, again, it's very much dog trying to catch its own tail at this point, just to catch a moment. And it's not a good moment to have to recatch. You got it already. The moment happened, and it could have happened earlier, and it could have been bigger, and you think you're going to rebuild and turn around and get back to it, but there's no guarantee. You could do it at Genesis. And again, same situation. You go to Texas, you've got, this man who is so loved by the company and loved by the fans that you think you're going to rebuild it, but you're not going to rebuild it using a guy like Kazarian unless Kazarian does something less hokey and more badass. And that's what I'm wondering. Do they have something planned for Kazarian that will make him an absolute jackass? Just a complete asshole that you want to see him get his face crushed by, not because he's being an asshole, but because he's done something so dastardly that he warrants it. So I'm curious.
Again, not to bring up the Joe Hendry, this is a repeat rerun. I think about when they put the title on Moose instead of putting it on Joe Hendry. And I don't want to say anything to disparage Moose because I think he's a fantastic in-ring performer. Let me be clear here. However, you had it was Bound for Glory. You had Bound for Glory at in New York City. You could have put it on him then and right the wrongs. You had already pre-built a story with Ali. You could have did it with Kazarian losing. And don't get me wrong again. Kazarian could have snaked somebody else. But the way you built up Santana, even if you're like, okay, we'll have Trick take it, there was a point where he could have won in New York. That could have been the feel-good story. Him and Kazarian, maybe not trade, but he could beat Kazarian, then him and Ali. You've got that perfectly set up for your live taping. Even if you wanted him to lose at the live taping, at least have him do a classic with Ali, have him do something. The cynic in me says, okay, by the time Santana wins this back, though, we're going to get what we got last time with Joe Hendry. You're going to do a whole lot of what? And then you're going to go to WWE, which, not to be rude, but to be kind of rude, you deserve that, TNA.
I don't disagree with you. So we're backstage, and Santina's on the phone with Ava. And then Kazarian walks in and says he has nothing to do with the NXT team invasion. And then he says he wants a written apology from Santino and Carlos Silva. And then Santino says he's got an appointment with JDC, who walks in conveniently at that time. And then they say JDC versus Eric Young is tonight. If JDC wins, he gets a title shot at Final Resolution. Sure. It's like, and I like that Kazarian points out, he's like, oh, so he just has to win one match to get a title shot? And Santino's like, yep, that's it. At least they brought it up. And then meanwhile, EY's backstage, he's sending mass men out to pass out those cleanse papers, and he says, well, why am I not getting a title shot if I beat JDC? Calls Santino a puppet trying to ruin TNA and Eric Young, and I'm like, I agree. I think Eric Young is right. Santino is a puppet and trying to ruin TNA. And he says the cleanse, will have their day or whatever. He does his usual cleanse thing. And this cleanse thing to me feels like another first TV episode angle payoff, that they're just waiting until they can do that with 3 other people that they can make into a group with Eric Young, call them the cleanse, take out people from TNA and be like, that's it. And that's the big showdown. You know, Mike Santana wins back the title. And then all of a sudden the Cleanse come in. They take out Mike Santana. And we're going to Santana and Eric Young, which I don't hate. But if that's the way they're trying to do this for TV, then it's like, all right, let's get there. Let's get there already.
You know what you just described?
Walking
Violent by design. When they first came in, you literally just described that first angle when he had the people in the yellow shirts running down, attacking people in the audience. I feel like I've become not Rob Wilkins, not Jeremy Lambert, not SP3. Oh my God.
Even Jensen?
No. I can't think of his name, and I'm going to do the Full Gear post show with him this weekend. He does the show with
Pulaski?
Yes, I feel like I sound like Alex. I'm just being negative Nancy. Oh my God. Alex is going to see this like Cresta. I believe you.
You went to the entire men's post show roster. I forgot the guy that
I'm sorry.
He's been here the longest. I like the fact where like people think that Alex is gonna see this.
But I don't mean to be negative, but it's kind of like, again, love TNA, love Pink, think they're great, fantastic. It's just kind of like, where have I seen this before? And if history shows me anything, somebody's getting murdered.
I'm fine with that. And again, if this turns into, you know, Eric Young takes out JDC and murks him on his way out because JDC is retiring, like, I don't hate that, but we got to get there first. And we'll talk about that in the main event. The Knockouts #1 Contender 4-way part 1. So basically the way this is working, they had 2 4-ways tonight. The winner of those 2 4-ways are going to face off one-on-one next week, and that winner is going to face the TNA Knockouts champion at Final Resolution. And of course, if you're watching NXT, Gold Rush is next week. They're going to have a Knockouts triple threat match. It's going to be Laying Lee, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace. The winner of that will go on to face whoever wins the Knockouts #1 Contender 4-way series / singles match next week. It's a big convoluted mess, but Dani Luna wins the first 4-way. She beats Indi Hartwell, Rosemary, and Myla Grace, who's back. It's nice to see her back. I liked the match. It was fine. I thought Myla working a lot with Rosemary was good. She will continue to get her, not just her reps in, but also just her kind of move set up in TNA. It was fine. Towards the end, Rosemary tries to use a chain. She gets sent into the ring post by Myla Grace. So she loses the chain. So Luna picks it up. She's in the ring and she punches out Indi Hartwell for the win using the chain. Dani Luna with the mean streak. She should be in this thing. And I'm glad she is. So she's moving on. This was a good 4-way for what it was.
Again, didn't watch the show. And the idea of Dani Luna punching out Indi Hartwell with a chain, hilarious. I hope we do something with Dani Luna for real. Even if it's Indi Hartwell screwing her over and these girls kick it up a gear, I'm okay with that. But I was saying this since Dani Luna wrestled Jordan Grace. This girl that's your next meaty woman. That's her. She's her. That's the girl that you could literally build your Knockouts division in that next tough woman spot. You have her right there. So here's to hoping that she wins, #1. And #2, we're able to do something with it, even if she's the villain, even if she's the bad guy. And I kind of live for that.
Santino and Ariana Grace are backstage. They basically say the guards are dumb. Now the doors are wide open because of course they are. We got to invite the NXT team because they got involved. Then the Macklin and the Hardys walk in and they're like, oh, we'll take care of this shit. Then they're like, we have the titles. That's bait. And Jeff Hardy, that's all he says. And it's like, well, I guess we'll give the C team title matches because why the F not? It's Final Resolution. Let's just throw this at the wall. There's just no reason for it. So they're like, all right, title shots for people who upset us. We'll use that.
Wait a minute.
What is there to know? Again, the wrestling will be good, but the story is basically like, all right, they came in, we're going to beat their asses because we have titles, and that's going to bring them. They've already told them, like, you can face us. So what? The titles aren't bait. The titles are, they don't need the bait. They just want the clout. They just want to beat up TNA guys. They don't need title matches to justify having the matches.
That's what I was thinking. Like, why would you offer a title match to someone who literally broke into your home, jumped you and your friend, and then took your dad's family heirloom? I'm a little confused. I don't understand why we need the title. I also would love for baby faces to stop giving out title shots because someone said, "Give me what I want." Because Arian at the beginning of the show was right. How come he only has to wrestle one time and get a title shot? Back in my day, you had to wrestle a tournament and then go one-on-one with the Undertaker player. That's not fair.
Once again, at least in the knockouts division, the 2 4-ways lead to a one-on-one match, and the winner gets to face the knockouts champion at Final Resolution. This one is let the dudes fight.
Not even an 8-4-1. Damn.
No, you think they would do something. It was just, I said it at the top of the show before you showed up, and I was like, if you're expecting great storytelling going into 2026, you're not going to get it, because TNA is very much like, let's just get through the rest of this year, and that's fine. I'm totally just reserved to the fact that like Thanksgiving's coming, and then they're going to do the first 2 weeks of December, and then they're going to take 2 weeks off, then they'll come back, and everything from the first 2 weeks, or I guess 2 weeks after they take 2 weeks off, that's going to be the rest of the El Paso taping. So I assume that's going to be setting up whatever's going on at Genesis, and Genesis will be what it is. And hopefully at Genesis, they're going to announce the TV deal, and you get the ball rolling. I don't know for sure, but if you're looking for the rest of this year to have any sort of like storytelling sense, then
time to make up the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Be sports entertained. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Mance Warner defeats Matt Cardona. Commentary puts over Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler appearing on Raw and SmackDown this past week. Yeah, it's fine. You got to do that. Lots of Cardona offense. Mance gets his biting spots in again. Mance gets out of the unprettier and hits a front face driver into a great knee for a near fall. I thought it was a really, really solid stuff from them. Shout out to Missy Hyatt, because you've got Steph DeLander at ringside carrying the purse, the loaded purse, known for Missy Hyatt back in the day. She gives a chair to Mance. Daniel Spencer, being the idiot that he is, turns his back, moves the chair away, and then gets the purse. Mance gets the purse from Steph. Cardona hits a sack rider. Stephanie puts Mance's foot on the ropes. Mance uses the purse, hits the pay window, gets the win. And then later on, Matt Cardona challenges Mance Warner to a street fight at Final Resolution. So that's happening. I'm fine with it. I think it'll be a good match. If it moves Mance Warner up the card, I am all for it. I think beating Cardona should be something that is celebrated if, in moving up the ranks. And if this is a way to do it, Mance is a great candidate to do it. Good match.
I need to see this match. That sounds like two very tall men doing tall men things. And I like both of these wrestlers separately. So definitely want to see this match. Every time someone says Zack Ryder, I just think of how many times Matt Cardona has cussed someone out, kayfabe, on the internet. Like, who the is Zack Ryder? So I'm like, what level of necromancy? I think of CM Punk. How much of a big bag of money? I'm confused. It's funny. I like it. I hope this does something for Matt Cardona. He's already in a really good spot. But selfishly speaking, I would love to see Matt Cardona on TV weekly.
Maybe you will.
Always. They're not going to they didn't even give him radio silent.
You got radio. It was just the new version.
I wanted Always Ready or When the Lights Go Down. Shout out to Downstate, but still.
You want Always Ready?
Oh, wait. I have that unironically on my Spotify.
I mean, I get it. It's Downstate. People like them.
Joel is judging me silently.
I am, but it's okay. They say in the injury report that Mike Santana has a torn UCL and that he's cleared. And I'm like, wait a minute. Someone else in wrestling has a torn UCL and she's not wrestling. So make of that what you will. Penelope Ford. She has a torn UCL. I'm just like, what are we doing here? What is this? By the way, what was in that purse? A brick, I hope. It's always a brick.
Brick.
Next week, the C team comes to work. Robert Stone says he's not behind the C team coming in. So who knows? And who could possibly care?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I want all wrestlers to win, but my care suddenly drops when I definitely saw when Robert Stone was there taking off his shirt. I was like, put it back on, please. Don't want to see this.
Yep. There you go. John Skyler defeats Myron Reed in what was a good match, but unfortunately they had to do a whole backstage weird angle where Agent Big Bill Zero took out Trey and Zachary Wentz, but they didn't show Desmond Xavier, which was strange. But either way, Myron at one point takes a clothesline, lands on his head. It was gnarly. He's okay, but it was very rough. Skyler had a slingshot spear to counter the flame on. I thought that was very well done. And then Reed eventually counters into a stun dog millionaire. Hotch, though, he gets the win, rolling up Reed, holding onto the ropes. And you had Jason Hotch. Sorry, Skyler got the win, rolling up Reed, holding the ropes. Hotch was there to help out. And it was, again, good, solid match. Looks like we're doing Rascals versus the Ali clan, the Order 4.
I'm about to say, who's the fourth man? No, Agent Zero is there now. And you have Killer Kelly to deal with Tasha Steelz. Okay, me likey, because I don't know if Impact has mentioned that these two are a couple on screen or if they just allude to it on socials.
No, they haven't really done that just because they haven't been aligned. One's a heel, one's a babyface.
Okay,
Kelly's kind of presented heel, but also she hasn't been around lately to solidify where she is on the depth chart.
That's fair. If anything, I'll put her like a tweener. Not so much anti-hero, but if anything, you're not good, but you're not Order 4. You're not system V1.
I think it's more likely that they use Indi Hartwell just because tonight Trey was like, Indi is Rascal's little sister, whatever. Like they made allusion to Indi being aligned with the Rascals as friends. And she's a babyface, so you can just get away with it.
How is she the little sister and she's taller than all of you except
I'm taller than everyone in my family and I'm the youngest. So
my little brother is taller than me.
There you go. That's spoken like a true big sister, little sister. Exactly. Hey, if you don't want to be big sistered, go Fightful Select. That's $5.99 in the business. We got plenty of news every single day. We just dropped tonight a little bit about an AEW star whose contract is believed to be coming up at the end of this year, Anna Jay. We don't know. We don't know what she'll do next, but that's up to her. But that and plus so much more over on Fightful Select, the best $5.99 in the business. Maybe this show is going to go behind Fightful Select. I don't know, but if you're not careful and you're not subscribed now and you don't get that 1 year subscription in, you don't want to be paying more. That's all I got to tell you. It could happen. So get in now. Lock it in, baby. Get that 1 year. You don't want to be stuck in that first class penthouse without $1. AJ's upset. AJ Francis is upset that Rich Swann lost at Turning Point. He also hates that Swann showed respect to Leon Slater, the X Division champion, who says that he cares more about sportsmanship. And AJ's like, I played in the NFL. I know about sportsmanship. And then Leon Slater comes in. And he's like, all right, I respect Swann, but I don't respect you. And so they're going to have a match of Final Resolution for the X Division championship, Leon Slater versus AJ Francis. It's about no limits, not weight limits. AJ, Leon Slater. That should be fun. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that one. Contract news on AJ Francis over on Fightful Select as well from a couple weeks ago. And Jody Thread, who's in the match we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
AJ Francis can't keep getting away with this. I swear to God. Like, how does he keep getting away with this, bro? Like, he's one of my favorite people to love to hate on TNA. Bro, yo, how does he keep getting away with this?
He's good. He's really freaking good. And AJ Francis, you know what? They made sense of it. He beat BDE at Turning Point. He has a justified reason to have the match.
BDE don't even go here. I mean, nobody go here no more.
I was going to say nobody goes there. But they gave BDE the little all-star star, so it's fine. He's just as much part of the crew. He came in, he did a job, and AJ Francis won. That's all that matters. Listen, they're giving NXT C team guys title shots, so at least AJ can say, I won a damn match.
AJ Francis is about to be TNA champion in the middle of 2026, and it's literally going to be a reign of terror. And while I'm going to hate it in kayfabe on the surface, underneath, I got to give it to the bad guys because I can't be mad. You went from flop dollar to top dollar to getting rid of one of your cronies, about to get rid of another crony. Bro, I kind of live. I love a villain origin story.
And again, I put over AJ every single time because he is the type of guy who does not need to be the world champion. He doesn't hold titles in this damn company. The last one he had was in 2024 when he had the digital media championship and he lost it eventually to PCO. This has never.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
But that's the thing. It was all built very well for that Slammiversary match. AJ had a marquee match against the guy who was going into his hometown and brought a lot of eyes and a lot of people. So like AJ knows how to play this game. And that's why I will always tell people, like, if you don't like AJ, you don't know the guy. You don't understand what he does behind the scenes and what he's capable of to get you to hate him. You hate him for the character he's playing. You really don't get that he is really friggin' good at this because he gets you to hate him the way that he's supposed to get you to hate him. It's really diabolical stuff, but he's so damn good at it and he deserves the flowers.
Yeah, I think the problem with some people, sorry.
How dare you? I was sick last
Hey,
I got it. So
I had to stop myself and be professional for what I was gonna say. So, hey, Laval, hey. I will say people like AJ, I think he compared himself to The Miz one time and said, The Miz did anything and everything that I was doing, y'all would cheer for it. But because it's me, it's whatever. I think that's because he was on the cusp of corny. And once wrestling and wrestling fans dub you corny, it's real hard to shake that corny, corn on the cob, buttery taste and feel. And I think that him trying so hard not to be a cool heel, but to be an asshole heel, he's inadvertently become a cool heel. Like the first class thing is catchy. Bringing on, listen, I know why some of you men watch wrestling and God is going to smite you. Okay. He's watching you. Allah, Buddha, Jesus, they're watching you. So you're smart for bringing on these girls. You're using the tools available to you. And again, AJ Francis, I think, once people get over the fact that it's okay to be a touch corny. Look at Ricochet. Ricochet is very corny. Look at Max Cassidy. It's okay to be corny. Once they get over it, they'll be all right. I think his wrestling has come a long way. He is obnoxious enough for you to genuinely hate him. We're not going to cheer. I mean, maybe we might do money, but we're not going to go whoop that trick. We kind of hate him the way we hate Dax at FTR, and that's good heat, man.
He's supposed to do what he's doing, and he's doing a good job at it. He knows that old school heat. And this is the funny thing. It's like I don't want to harp on it for too long, but like when you get those heels who want to be cool heels because they know their merch is still going to sell and they're going to make money, AJ is not in that position because God bless the man did play in the NFL. He is set. He's fine. There's no monetary issue at hand.
You could tell he's a smart businessman.
He is very smart. And again, so I'm going to stop, pushing his ego because he's fine.
Don't glaze him, Mom Dani. Don't glaze him.
We got to glaze the elegances. Well, one of them already glazed another one. But anyway. So the search for Mr. Elegance has continued. It's begun, I guess. For those who missed us last week, I'm not playing it again. Go back and watch last week's episode. We did play the video. Our own Jeremy Lambert, my co-host of In the Weeds, he did submit a Mr. Elegance video. I did do the editing. It is as cheesy as you want it to be and as it should be. And this week they had I don't know what this was. It was almost supposed to be like a blind dates type of game show thing. What was the name of the game show where they had the hidden contestants and they had the one guy, the contestant number 1, contestant number 2. I think it was blind. It's not blind date, but anyway, someone will figure it out. It's an old game show. And the first guy walks in and he starts speaking, and Ash by Elegance she's in heat. And she just grabs him. It's definitely not Dateline. Jesus Christ. It's probably blind date. Anyway, so Ash is in heat and she grabs a guy and then they had sex. Is what they did. For those who don't know, by the way, that was Ulysses Diaz. That's her legitimate husband. That's what the bit was. So he's disqualified. Next person was Jamie Stanley. He gets thrown out because he's wearing a pink suit. And according to Iceman, the only person who can get it into a pink suit is Mark Henry. I thought it was cute. And then Alejandro comes in. He looks a lot like Andrade in a certain way, or Roosh and Andrade put together.
He looked like La Sombra. He wrestles in a House of Glory. So I thought, like, oh, maybe they got a local guy. Maybe they got an indie guy. That's what I thought it was. And I thought the other one was James Maverick.
Isn't La Sombra That is Andrade.
Wait, maybe he has a different name.
You're someone else.
Y'all, child.
Anyway, this is the dating game. So Alejandro comes in and he gets asked. He's asked poorly by Heather about anabolic steroids, I guess. And then he poses and he says he's still in love, but I guess ultimately he's not in the running. Either way, Jeremy is still in the running, and that's really all that matters. This was a bit of a train wreck, but I feel like it was supposed to be. Your thoughts on the search for Mr. Elegance?
Where was Jeremy?
Where was he? Where was the video?
You can hit up Fightful to leak info, but you can't hit up Fightful for Jeremy. Mr. Elegance is it right there. He watches the product. Again, I thought the second person was Drake Maverick in the pink suit, but upon further inspection, I'm like, you're too tall. Never mind.
Drake is much shorter. What are you on?
Listen, I wasn't looking at the torso to leg ratio at first. I was like, this man is pretty handsome, okay? And then I was like, nah, he's too tall. So
anyway, he still works for WWE Creative, by the way, so go ahead.
Oh, well, there's that as well. Honestly, this reminded me of MTV VH1 trash at its peak. And yes, I want to see what's about to happen. That's what I want to see. This is silly. This is the type of stuff you cross over with MXM. Wrong company. Eric Young. I need the most opposite of Oh, she wouldn't do it. But Blake Monroe, this is where you get wacky, goofy. Yuck. This is the time.
This was everything I needed it to be. Stupid and fun. I see chat talking about being Richard Holiday or Giovanni Vinci. I've been on the Vinci train since the beginning of this. So he'd be the perfect person to bring this in.
Jake something. Put him in a suit. I mean, he'd be a terrible lapdog, but I would like to see it. That's for me personally. Sorry.
That's fair. So yeah, Jeremy's still in it. That's really all that matters. Zaya Brookside wins the other 4-way for the Knockouts Championship matchup thing they're doing. The 4-4-2, 4-4-1, 4-on-4, another 4-on-4, and then a 1-on-1, and then anyway, a bunch of math. Zaya Brookside beats Jody Threat, Killer Kelly, and Victoria Crawford. Jody Threat was on In the Weeds this past week to promote oh my God, why did I just forget? The New Wave Wrestling Academy and the show they're doing November 30th here in Toronto. If you can go, I highly recommend it. I will be there. But she also dropped a little bit of intel that her contract is up this year. And Fightful Select had an update earlier today that the belief is that December 1st is the contract expiration. Both sides are in talks, and I believe TNA sources have said that they would like to retain Jody. Not sure where it's going to be. I think Jody has been a great asset to TNA and has learned a lot doing televised wrestling through TNA. So for that, I'm all about it. Zaya Brookside gets the win with the Brooksy Bomb. Next week, it's Zaya versus Dani Luna. Don't really have much to say about this match. It was fine. I didn't like having to hear Tessa Blanchard talk throughout the entirety of the match, but it was good. Killer Kelly kind of got, just in there. And otherwise, it was just Zaya Brookside getting a win.
I like Zaya Brookside, but Dani Luna's going to kill that poor girl. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
We will see next week when it's just me, Oos, talking about it. The Jada Stone pack. No, we're not. It's like when Rhea Ripley did the sexy bunny thing. She went, for me, it's just like, it's like
You're the tired kid doing the dance on the stage. Mom, please.
I'm just old Jewish man. It's just use day one fair.
How many times we got to do this?
I'm going to go take a nap. You guys call me when it's done. Anyway, Jada Stone. Did you watch the package with Jada Stone?
Wait. The one last week?
No, that was Myla Moore last week.
Okay.
This one's Jada Stone. So Jada and Myla were signed at the same time. So there were the two Brits, Harley and Myla. They were signed at the same time. Myla and Jada were also signed after they had a match, and they brought out Dreamer and Carlos and Jazz, and they signed them both.
Oh,
anyway, So Jada trained with Al Snow and Doug Basham and Kushida and Fred Rosser at OVW and New Japan Dojo respectively, and it was actually a really good package that they did, different from the one for Myla Moore. Tells the story of how she met Tommy Dreamer and pestered him for a tryout, but her first tryout was terrible. She didn't like it. She came back to wrestling after taking a break, found her groove, took some time, worked her way back, got the match with Myla, got the tryout, and got herself a contract. Talked about how Bailey, WWE's Bailey, reached out to her after she signed, and that meant a lot to her. So they're doing, Jada Stone's going to be the white meat baby face, and I'm glad that they're doing Myla Moore as more of a hot to trot, hot shit heel, because they had her fill in for Tessa at Turning Point this past weekend as well. So it's good. I'm a fan of both women. I'm glad that they've done a little package for them, and they're not just the same cookie cutter packages that they've had in the past. It was good.
A good way to refill your roster, since a lot of the top of your card has taken a little tumble.
What happened?
Hold on. One of my cats is going into business for themselves.
I gotta see this. At Final Resolution, you're gonna have Santana versus Charlie Dempsey or Charlie Dumpster. The Hardys are gonna take on High Rise for the TNA tag titles. Are you back? Are you alive?
Yo, bro. Cats are the worst because you can't yell at them in a language that they'll understand. So, yeah, I'm back. No, what I was saying was it's good that TNA is finding young women to fill their roster from all the ladies that they lost. So my apologies about that. And it wasn't Mercedes Meownay. It was the other cat. I don't know what to call her because she's being a jerk. Kazarian. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nah. She's being a terrorist.
Call her Myla Moore. You're welcome.
To quote Frankie Kazarian tonight, can't you be a professional? You've never been a professional at anything. The only thing you've ever been a professional is an idiot.
Final Resolution, Santana takes on Charlie Dempsey. Sure. The Hardys take on High Rise for the TNA tag titles. Again, sure. Macklin takes on Stax for the international title. Sure. The Knockouts title will be on the line. You'll see how it plays out next week. Leon Slater and AJ Francis for the X Division title, Mance and Cardona in a street fight. Honestly, like from a match perspective, there's a lot of sures, but like it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good night. A lot of titles on the line. Kazarian JDC is now official because we'll get to the main event match. Spoiler alert, JDC won. And then next week on Impact, they're going to run Hometown Diener versus Brooks Jensen, Robert Stone versus Santana, and the Hardys, Macklin, and Cedric Alexander take on the team of Lexus King, Stax, and High Rise. There you go.
Man, I know you're excited for that Hometown Diener match, pal. Also, yo, I'm happy for new talent getting over. Great. Love that. Cool. Even if they're the C team, I still think you have a time to shine. And TNA is really good at bringing out the very best wrestler you can be. I've seen what they've done for the quote-unquote best of the worst. That being said, this message is specifically for Steve Macklin. What they done to my boy, man? Wrestling Stacks. I'm sure it'll be fine, but like, I thought they was giving you the number 2, number 1 title. What do you mean you're wrestling Stacks? What do you mean? What is? I pray for better days for you because you're a fantastic wrestler. I pray that you and Joel one day get along, but this ain't right. If I have to write a letter,
we get along now. You and I get along a lot. We get along. The interview that I'm going to drop in a week or two, we actually make light of the fact that we get along now.
This is great. It's just, what do you mean he's wrestling Stacks? No disrespect to Stacks, but what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I also love the fact that it's for the international title.
That, again, like when the Hardys was like, hey, you random dudes want to, why? Poor KY. You can prove that you are a man, Maury, without having to. That's like beating up a third grader for the title of the deed of your house. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Main event, speaking of why are we doing this, JDC defeats Eric Young. Kazarian's on commentary. Like you mentioned, he was the clowniest of clowns. I love that he went all in on Tom Hannafin. It was very funny. JDC wins. He flips EY off the top as he's going for a pile driver. Gets the down and dirty leg drop. Gets the win. JDC wins one singles match and he gets a world title shot. I'm going to let this go only because JDC told us he's done at Genesis. He gets this title match because he and Kazarian like each other. They are pals. This is a way for them to build up JDC to have some sort of clout before he gets beat on the way out, I assume. But also, like, let's face it, Final Resolution's not shaping up to be much of a storyline build of a card. I'm just going to let it go. I think it could be better. I think a lot of things could be better. But if we're going to do JDC versus Kazarian, sure, pal. I don't think it main events. I don't even know what main events this show. And I'm looking at it like, nope, nothing on this show screams main event. Mance and Cardona in a street fight? Leon Slater, AJ Francis? Knockouts title? You won't know till next week who's got what, who's the champion. You won't know who the number one contender is. It'll be a 1 week build. Macklin and Stacks, Hardys and High Rise, Santana and Dempsey. There's just nothing. There's nothing here that screams you got to see. And the show starts at 9 Eastern, so that's a whole other. By the way, they're not going to do a post show. Like there's a whole other reason why. This is very much
at 9 with all those matches. That means this is what we're getting. And you're in your spot to finish next. You're in the spot to finish next.
I assume they're gonna do the Rascals versus Order 4 too. They're gonna do that in tag. So like that's another one. Sure. They're gonna load up. It's the end of the year. Go have fun. It's basically that last year, for those who forget, Final Resolution was like everybody who had a contract coming up was getting their last matches in. That's all it was. It was like they gave Kushida a title match. Like, bye-bye. Trent Seven, same thing. Okay, bye-bye. It was everyone's goodbye matches. And we all just said, all right, sure, it's the end of the year. Why not? Like turning point. The show was fine. No one's underestimating the quality of the wrestling. Nobody, if anything, we're estimating the amount of care given to the stories, of which there are very little. So they had 4 weeks off to at least plan for the rest of the year. But instead, they just waited and said, oh, let's get heat by having Kazarian cash in. Like, Nick Nemeth is nowhere for this whole taping because he was working House of Glory and big event, the big event in New York the next day. So he wasn't on the TV tapings. Is he going to be a Final Resolution? I don't think so. It's fine.
The C team took him out so hard, he became Dolph Ziggler and wrestled in Madison Square Garden.
Pretty much. There's just nothing. There's nothing here that I can be like, yeah. Again, I think from a wrestling standpoint, you've got great performers. I look forward to Mance and Cardona in a street fight. I look forward to Leon Slater and AJ Francis. I'm looking forward to Santana and whoever he's facing that I forgot, Charlie Dempsey. That's going to be a good match. There are good matches on the card. Just the build and the stories going into it are just like, sure.
Very questionable.
Yeah, it's just going to happen.
Kazarian winning, in my opinion, TNA has the opportunity to do one of the funniest things ever.
Make Stacks the international champion.
Nah. Make JDC the world champion and then have him retire with the belt, have him lay it down and then run a tournament for the belt. And then Nick Nemeth is like, why did I have to enter in the tournament? I already have the thing. And then Kazarian's like, that's BS. I need my contract re-signed. Like, yeah, but you have to split the listen, when all else fails, be a wrestling gremlin. Who cares? Throw it against the wall. Ad-libs.
There you go. Man. Sure. Nick will probably be at the tapings. He'll be at the TV tapings to set up something for Genesis, but he's probably not going to be on the card for the actual turning point, or not turning point, whatever the show is. Final Resolution. Final Resolution has never been a major show in the last, modern era of TNA. So we're just getting through the year. We're just having fun, folks. We're just palling around. Charlie Dempsey and Stacks Lorenzo and High Rise and give them all title shots. Everyone's having fun. This is it. This is the part of the year that you get, and you will like it, or you won't. Who knows? It's better than last week. Put it like that.
Yeah.
That's also going from like 0. So like we went 0 to 10. And it's fine.
You said the bar was low, so it's only up.
I mean, you could go lower, but they didn't. So I'll give them that. I just hope that El Paso is a good time for them in a couple of weeks. They got 2 more weeks of TV, and then they do El Paso, and then we'll get through it. That's 3 weeks. That's December 5th. That's a busy weekend, by the way. That's the same night. Final Resolution is the same night as Final Battle, so don't get that mixed up because you definitely will. And then the next night is NXT Deadline, and I'm pretty sure there's something else going on that weekend too, other than just SmackDown, Final Resolution, and Final Battle are all on the same night. Good luck. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Cresta, this is your last show on the TNA post show for the foreseeable. Go ahead. Do what you need to do.
First and foremost, to everyone who regularly watches the TNA show, thank you so much for being here, supporting your girl. I love TNA because despite us roasting this show every week, we roast it out of love. Because if anyone else made fun of it, I'd be upset. Don't talk about my son like that. I'll be around. If they ever do like the big fours, me and Steven Jensen hop in, but it's not goodbye, but see you later. I will be on the post show with Kate tomorrow, Friday, for SmackDown, so we could complain about Logan Paul. Furthermore, I'm still live on Saturday with the AEW Collision folks. So definitely tune in on Fightful then. If you need more Cresta Starr in your life, please consider following me on all forms of social media at Cresta Starr, with the exception of X, where is Cresta the Star. Last point, I just dropped Investigations. I know I was talking about it on here for like a month, but it finally dropped. So please consider following me after this video. After you've given this video a like, subscribe, and thumbs up, go over to youtube.com/Cresta Starr. It's the first one in the videos, and it's Samoa Joe's spawn point. This by far is the dumbest thing I've ever done, and I couldn't be more proud. Thank you for having me, y'all. TNA is awesome. Watch wrestling, broaden your horizons, and for the last time, your butt looks nice, and I hope you find $20 on the floor. Joel, do your thing, big boy.
First of all, is that a fat joke? No, just kidding. Great Devlin sent a super chat saying, I'm with Cresta's Chaos. JDC wins the title, says, I hate pro wrestling, retires on top. Oleg and Johnny Bravo come out and cry. Johnny's still there. Oleg Prudy is I don't think he's there. He's definitely not there. I don't know what he's up to.
If he comes out and says, I hate pro wrestling,
and he just drops the belt on the floor and walks out with it, what does he do? Does he walk out with the belt and says, I hate pro wrestling?
Walks out with the belt, goes through the crowd, and hits the CM Punk.
Stupid. I love it. I'm all about it. You know where I am. I'm in the weeds every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The show runs 5 days a week over on Fightful Overbooked. That's our sister channel. Jeremy Lambert's there 5 days a week. SP3 joins us as well Tuesdays and Thursdays. But like I said, I'm there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That includes tomorrow, where I'll be talking about, I don't even know, man. I don't know what I'm going to talk about for 2 hours with Jeremy, but we'll figure it out because we always do. Full Gear is this weekend. There's plenty more. I'm back here on Thursday. It's just Muse. Feh one-ish. For Cresta Starr, you know who I am. You know who she is, because I just told you. Enjoy everything, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Goodbye.